Innocent Bystander Productions would like it to be known that they are no longer bound by contractual obligation in their professional relationship with Dr. Gregory Chamberlain and the Institute of Self-Personal Growth, and that our partnership will continue only as long as the arrangement remains beneficial to both parties. For the time being, Innocent Bystander Productions will continue to exercise discretion in pursuit of a satisfactory conclusion. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Well, here we are down the old cross threads. Woo! And it's music night, yeah! I'm Ken Noble, your entertainer tonight, and we're going back to the 80s. Who remembers this one? It's Howard Jones. What is love? I love you whether or not you love me. And I love you even if you think that I don't. And sometimes I find you doubt my love for you, but I don't mind. And why should I mind? Why should I mind? And what is love? Love anyway. And does anybody love anybody anyway? And what is love? Love anyway. And does anybody love anybody anyway?
Oh, Cynthia, what are we doing here?
I just fancied a night out, that's all.
But tonight of all nights, Ken Noble. What is this anyway?
Don't you know it, Gregory? Howard Jones, 1984.
1984. I was in Ethiopia driving trucks through Bagemda as part of the famine relief convoys.
Oh? I was cutting hair in a barber shop in Lewisham. This was on the radio all the time. So was the famine, actually.
I didn't know you were a hairdresser, Cynthia.
I've been a lot of things, Gregory. Hairdresser, dental nurse. I was attaché to the Swedish ambassador for a while.
Really?
Yes, I quite miss working.
Well, perhaps you could get yourself a little job.
Maybe. I haven't done a day's work since I won the lottery.
You won the lottery?
20.5 million.
You've got £20.5 million?
Well, I've spent some of it, a bit. I've lived very frugally since Lionel died.
Lionel? Was he your husband?
Yes, God rest his soul.
I knew you were married from the photo in the parlour, Cynthia, but you never mention him, so...
You've never asked. He died of a massive coronary.
Oh dear, I am sorry.
The moment the sixth ball dropped.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
He was a good man, Gregory. Gave me 16 years of happy marriage, then left me a very wealthy widow.
How interesting.
Today would have been our 20th anniversary. Emerald.
Is that why you wanted to come...
Yes, silly, I know.
Not at all, Cynthia. Not at all. Let me get another round in. Sing up, Ken. We're celebrating. Joe, 2 more tap waters, please. Hello and welcome to the first broadcast of my new series Emotional Responses, with me, Dr. Gregory Chamberlain. In this episode I'll be asking the question cited as the most frequently asked of the internet by users of the search engine Google. The question, what is love? In his 1978 book The Road Less Traveled, the American psychiatrist and best-selling author Martin Scott Peck provided this definition of love. It is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Clearly demonstrating a belief that love is an emotion beneficial in the pursuit of something larger than oneself, this sentiment is echoed in definitions provided by multitudes of other commentators, including the Swedish scientist, philosopher, theologian, revelator and mystic Emanuel Swedenborg, who surmised in his 1763 work, Divine Love and Wisdom, that love is quite simply our life in every least detail. And, of course, no attempt to define love would be complete without consideration of the bard himself, William Shakespeare, whose often woeful musings on the subject betray an emotion fueled by insurmountable passions and oftentimes crippling longing.
Excellent wretch, perdition catch my soul, but I do love thee, and when I love thee not, chaos is come again. The course of true love never did run smooth.
Despite the best efforts of even history's greatest psychologists, philosophers, and poets, however, no absolute definition of this most universal of emotions has yet been agreed upon. And with science only now beginning to fully understand the biological mechanisms and processes underlying its kindling, it appears the enigma of love may yet be with us for some time. In pursuit of an adequate answer to the question what is love, we must perhaps first address the question of why and where we love. It has been estimated that the human condition constitutes the ever-broiling experience of some 34,000 distinct emotions, although conventional thinking continues to assert that the vast majority of these are compound feelings taking their root from around only 7 or 8 core emotional responses. These have been identified as anger, anticipation, disgust, fear, joy, sadness, surprise, and trust by Professor Robert Plutchik as recently as 1980 in his writings on the psychoevolutionary process, a delineation that would appear to be borne out by the findings of US psychologist Paul Ekman, whose extensive research into nonverbal forms of communication isolated 7 universal facial expressions common in all cultures, consistent with Plutchik's core emotions. But where is love in all this? Could it be that love is a compound of 2 or more core emotions? Or perhaps love is so intensely personal and internalized that its outward expression would serve no purpose? If this latter, insular and clearly counter-romantic suggestion is true, it greatly problematizes conventional cultural conceptions of love, withdrawing love from the idealized representations of poetry and Hollywood, and the notion of love as something greater than oneself, toward a model far more self-serving and bereft of all semblance of altruism. Writing in the 1960s, the Russian-American objectivist philosopher Ayn Rand sought to demonstrate, with essays later published as The Virtue of Selfishness, that love and friendship are profoundly personal and selfish values. Asserting that love is an expression and assertion of self-esteem, Rand argued that love is solely sought as affirmation for one's own beliefs and values, and that the notion of altruism, or the love of something one does not personally value, is a nonsensical impossibility. Although viewed as baffling by most of the world, Rand's egocentric take on objectivism remains a significant influence in the thinking of the United States, with her body of work tapping directly into the American ideals of freedom, hard work, and individualism, and seems impervious to criticisms founded on the understandings of other philosophies, most notably those of Immanuel Kant, which would seek to draw attention to Rand's near-sociopathic failure to recognize that self-worth naturally derives from an appreciation of the innate value of all people, and of the duty we have to uphold the freedom, dignity, and welfare of humanity as a whole.
Just a minute, Cynthia.
Can I come in?
Just a minute. Enter.
Oh, hello, Gregory.
What can I do for you, Cynthia?
I was wondering if you'd like to go out tonight.
What?
We could go into town, or if you don't fancy that, just across Threads, if you think they'd have us, since Don died.
I don't think that's an issue, only...
Oh, good. Around 6 then.
No, I was just saying, Cynthia, you've never suggested we socialise together before.
Just a drink. Maybe get a takeout on the way home.
Well, to be honest, my gyro doesn't clear until tomorrow. I'm pretty much down to my last pound.
I'll shout you a drink, Gregory.
I do have a lot to do.
Oh, okay. I just fancied...
Look, Cynthia,
Martha's busy and I can't very well go out on my own.
Just a couple of drinks.
Yes.
Very well.
Oh, Gregory, thank you. I'll go and get ready.
Are you all right, Cynthia? You seem smiling.
I'm just pleased, Gregory. In fact, I'm going to listen to my Lena Zavaroni LP while I get ready.
Oh, not more he's making eyes at me again.
Yes, it makes me feel young, Gregory.
Very well. But couldn't you just use moisturiser like everyone else? Now, where was I?
As predicted, the woman, Cynthia, is seeking company. Yes, it is time to make the doctor do the same. Can this be done? He seems resistant. His past experiences run. He must. The woman will reveal her secret, her wealth, and he will be unable to resist. The pieces are all in place. His production company is about to pull its funding. He will see this as an opportunity for financial gain. He must. The woman's hoard of Earth currency must be squandered. This Dr. Gregory Chamberlain must fritter it away. Our very future depends on it. And so we turn his thoughts to lost love, to melody, yes.
In recent times, and maybe in response to the pragmatic views of commentators like Rand, love has been approached from a purely evolutionary perspective, with its chemical and
Turn it down, please, Cynthia.
Can't have two pieces of music playing, that will conflict. What a... right. Love has been approached from a purely evolutionary perspective, with its chemical and neurological basis increasingly viewed as simply supporting emotional imperatives to promote the furtherance and survival of our own selfish genes. In her 2004 book, Why We Love, The Nature and Chemistry of Romantic Love, the American anthropologist, human behavior researcher and self-help author Helen Fisher identified three key, deeply embedded brain systems that she believes have evolved to facilitate mating and reproduction. Basing her studies on thousands of years of globally sourced literature on the matter of love, and on research involving brain scans of a sample of 30 people declaring themselves as currently being in love, Fisher proposed that human beings are programmed to seek love according to neurosystems hardwired to provoke the sensations of lust, attraction, and attachment. Fisher characterizes love as an experience during which another person takes on a special meaning, becoming the subject of uncompromising aggrandizement and the acute focus of internal craving. This, she explains, is due to the release of chemicals and the firing of neuropaths in the brain that are identical to those observed during the use of cocaine. It is now understood, as a result of recent advances in both clinical psychology and neuroscience, that the sensation of love is allied to the release of chemicals associated with feelings of euphoria, arousal, and security. Corresponding perfectly to Fisher's hardwired neural systems, these feelings have evolved to help not just man, but all mammals select, focus upon, and tolerate a partner in the interests of reproduction. Starting with what Fisher has termed an intolerable neural itch, this process occurs, according to Estonian-born rat-tickling neuroscientist and psychobiologist Jack Pansep, in deep, ancient brain structures far removed from those associated with thinking and planning. Beginning with a surging increase in the production of testosterone in men and estrogen in women, the euphoric process of falling in love also sees a more than significant increase in the production of dopamine, adrenaline, and norepinephrine, the effect of which lowers the threshold of pleasure centers in the brain, permitting pleasure to be experienced more readily and pain and hardship to be more easily endured, accounting for the romanticized view of our lives and environment we adopt whilst in love. Additionally, the body undertakes a reduction in its production of serotonin, a state also observed in people with obsessive-compulsive disorders, accounting for the tendency of lovers becoming preoccupied, or in more severe cases, obsessed, with their chosen partner. Of course, this explanation of love requires us to put aside all trace of any melody. What? Oh, not again. I can't go back to... Right. Put aside all trace of melody. Bugger. Right. Finally, love may lead to the establishment of a healthy, loving relationship. At this time, the chemicals oxytocin, the so-called commitment neuromodulator, and vasopressin, the monogamy hormone, are observed in increased amounts. These chemicals, released by touch, serve to encourage attachment, and can be seen in the responses not only between humans, but also between pet owners and their animals. These intense emotional responses manifest as heightened energy, enthusiasm, and feelings of elation, and, unlike the intense but temporary highs experienced during the use of cocaine, can occasionally be sustained for decades.
There you go, Doctor. 2 tap waters.
Thank you, Joe. About your dad, Don, Joe, I just wanted to say...
Don't. Best left unsaid. I'll deal with it my way.
Of course, Joe. Of course. But you see,
Written off, Gregory. All in the past. Something I'd rather forget.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Joe. There you go, Cynthia.
Thank you. Are you all right, Gregory? You seem a bit distracted.
Do I? Well, work, I suppose. My production company, Innocent Bystander, is threatening to pull its funding of my...
You need to relax, Gregory.
Yes, well, maybe. I need the toilet, Cynthia. I won't be long.
Oh, okay.
Relax. Relax.
Melody.
Oh, Melody. Stop. Why now? I can't still be thinking about her, surely.
Yeah. Woo. Turn off your minds, relax.
The instruments of soul, personal growth, gateway to transversal reality.
This is not dying.
Melody.
$20.5 million. Imagine the possibilities. But I can't, can I?
You can. You must.
But how to ask? Cynthia, do you think it might be possible for me to borrow or loan? Lend? Which is it?
Melody.
Oh dear, Gregory. Clear your mind, old fool. Own your onion, Gregory. Own your onion.
Slipping in due to its popularity as part of the soundtrack for the movie Groundhog Day. I got you, babe.
Did you wash your hands, Gregory?
Yes. Finally, I hope.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
In 1985, the American psychologist and psychometrician Robert Sternberg presented his triangular love theory, after concluding that passionate and compassionate love were very different emotions that could be felt in isolation or coexist in the same relationship. According to Sternberg, there are 3 principal types of love, with a further 4 composed of a combination of 2 or all of the principal trio. In an approach similar to both Fisher's tripartite neural systems and Pansep's deep brain structures, Sternberg preferred intimacy, passion, and commitment as the foundations of all other types of loving relationships, namely fatuous, romantic, compassionate, and ultimately consummate love. Interestingly, Sternberg's own 7 types of love correspond to classes of love identified by ancient Greek philosophers, pondering the enigma of love way back in antiquity, inferring that Sternberg took his cues from pre-scientific, intuitive wisdom on the matter.
Ain't you kinda glad and ain't you kinda gay when you hear me say I love?
For the vast majority of us, our experience of love begins as children, with what the ancient Greeks referred to as storge, the love we receive from our parents or primary carers, and, if conditions are favourable, eventually pass on to children of our own. Combining Sternberg's principal love types of intimacy and commitment, this is a close, caring and unconditional love, founded either on the biological attachment of parent and child or the benefits of shared time, interests and activities between unrelated individuals.
Ain't you kinda glad and ain't you kinda gay when you hear me say I love?
Building upon the familial love we experience as children is the friendship love we choose for ourselves, a love the ancient Greeks referred to as philia, a warm, tender and affectionate platonic love. In Sternberg's triangular model, philia equates to intimacy and combines with passionate love in the creation of romantic love, where physical attraction is present, and commitment in the creation of compassionate love if the prerequisites of mutual interest and, above all else, trust are present.
Here's a sneaky song from the 60s that I'm slipping in due to its popularity as part of the soundtrack for the movie Groundhog Day. I got you, babe.
Did you wash your hands, Gregory?
Yes. Finally, I hope.
You look like you've seen a ghost. Well, this is nice, Gregory. Makes a change, doesn't it?
Well, yes. Very different.
It's just nice to get out, away from the house, you know, and all that.
It's very pleasant, Cynthia.
Jason seems like he's in a better place these days, doesn't he?
Ah, Jason.
Yes, he helped me peel potatoes Tuesday, and he's cleared the pram out of the way of the back door.
That was nice of him.
When's he moving out, Gregory?
Oh.
I mean, I've nothing against him. He does seem all right. I'm not even that bothered about him murdering Howard.
Cynthia! Shh!
I never really liked Howard anyway, to be honest. Not that I wished him dead or anything.
Cynthia, could we talk about something else?
I just don't understand why you want to help him, Gregory. I mean, it's lovely of you and...
I can't really explain, Cynthia. I just need to make sure Jason is over his recent difficulties before he moves on.
Well, at least try to explain.
I can't, Cynthia. I don't want to.
You're an enigma to me, Dr. Gregory Chamberlain. I thought we had an understanding, trust. I'm not entirely sure I want to share my home with someone who doesn't trust me.
Cynthia.
Well, Gregory, that's how I feel.
But Cynthia,
No, Gregory! Either we're like a family or we're not, and I think it's time we reappraise the entire situation.
Oh, Cynthia, I had no idea it was...
The youth, Jason, is becoming an obstacle. Indeed, we must learn more of him. He must be eliminated. His past is shrouded in secrecy. We must encourage the Doctor to discuss him more. This manifestation of events is undesirable. This avenue of the future too unpredictable. Agreed. Should I engage the chronolosphere? We have no choice. We must continue to intervene until we gain the avenue we need, of course. Engage the chronolosphere. Chronolosphere, engage.
Ain't you kinda glad and ain't you kinda gay when you hear me say I love?
As our bodies mature and we pass into puberty and adolescence, our relationships begin to accommodate powerful and intoxicating emotions born of mere physical attraction, a type of love known to the ancient Greeks as eros. Corresponding to what Sternberg termed passionate love, this type of love, often dismissively referred to as stupid love, combines with intimate love to create romantic love, and with commitment in the creation of fatuous love. The tryst exemplified in the contemporary relationship known as the, fuck body. Could this be an option?
Oh, for the stars, no. Reset the chronolosphere. Reset. Reset.
No, not an option. No. Own your onion, Gregory. Clear your thoughts, for pity's sake, clear your thoughts.
Slipping into the popularity as part of the soundtrack of the movie Groundhog Day.
Ain't you kinda glad and ain't you kinda gay when you hear me say I love you?
By conventional account, a healthy, nurturing, and truly loving relationship transcends the mere physical aspects of attraction to establish a longevity based on mutual benefit, enduring friendship, and trust. This type of love was referred to by the ancient Greeks as pragma, and was considered both the most aspirational and most difficult to attain of all interpersonal relationships. Analogous to Sternberg's committed love, pragma combines with passion and intimacy in the formation of compassionate and fatuous love respectively, and with both has contributed to the attainment of consummate love, or as the Greeks knew it, agape, the overwhelming and awe-inspiring love of all things. Arguably the more mature of all loves, pragma, taking its root from the same place as pragmatic, is the foundation of a relationship that has been worked for and is hoped will last, a union that can support future planning and a shared romantic destiny.
Pragma. This is the avenue we are looking for, indeed.
In the modern, civilized world, it is generally accepted that love is an emotion that can be freely experienced by peoples of any age and culture, as well as between peoples of any gender and sexual orientation. Love is also widely regarded as the most powerful of human emotions, with many religions and belief systems citing it as paramount in the development and betterment of a civilized society. Although the question "what is love" remains largely unanswered, the questions of why and where we love are beginning to find solutions. We love because of our need to pass on our genes and to show our children the love we were showed by our parents, and we love in the very chemistry of our beings. To conclude then, while the validity of the notion of love as something we give freely for the benefit of others continues to be debated, there is no questioning the benefit of the love we receive.
Have you ever been married, Gregory?
No.
Not met the right woman? Well, you have been in love.
Of course, still am. It never goes away if it's genuine.
Yes, they all leave their mark, that's for sure. Was there someone special?
Not really. Well, I don't know. One I do occasionally think about. Recently, in particular.
Do you want to talk about it, Gregory?
I was working at a university when we met, lecturing on human rights and the nature of freedom, ironically. She joined the staff and was in the midst of a major upheaval. She seemed very unhappy indeed, and, well, we had quite a few things in common, I guess. We spent some time together, a little, and I came to learn that she'd led what I suppose you'd call a colourful life. She was a free spirit, but she also knew she had the propensity to allow that to run away with her. She'd had a troubled past with drug use, you see. Her youthful experimentation had been nothing short of thorough. But she'd put that aside to raise her son alone. But her son was grown up by this point and striking out on his own, and she was experiencing a crisis of identity, wasn't sure who she'd be moving forward, and seemed anxious about her past ways creeping into her life again. I tried to steer her right, even offered her my love, but, oh well. I knew there were others among the staff who'd not only gleefully encourage her to return to using and her old ways, but could also enable it. It was inevitable in retrospect. I was a fool to think it would go any other way. But I believed her when she said she wasn't sure that's what she wanted. Still remember her crying about it. I just hope she's okay.
Did you love her, Gregory? I mean, really?
Not if she didn't feel loved. But I liked her enough to want her to feel loved, and I suppose that's as far as anyone can take love on their own.
Well, fuck her.
Cynthia!
No, Gregory. If that's really the life she's chosen for herself, leave her to it. People should be free to make their own decisions anyway.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree, Cynthia. People should be free to make their own decisions, and I defend that freedom to the hilt. But people make decisions based on the options available to them, and things get a little muddy if we also have to accept that other people should be free to place potentially harmful and detrimental options in the paths of the very easily led, weak, or vulnerable. It's not quite as simple as all that, Cynthia. You see, to be honest, well, the thing is...
Rose for the lady, sir.
Sorry, what?
Buy a rose for the lady, sir. Valentine's, in it. Plastic, only £1 each.
Yes, I will, thank you.
But Gregory, it's your last pound.
My gyro clears tomorrow, Cynthia. Let me buy you a flower.
Tar, mate.
Here you are, Cynthia. A rose.
Oh, Gregory, thank you.
It's fine.
And so we come to the end of the evening. Woo! I hope you've had a great time. Yeah! So let's end with an absolute classic, shall we? It's Whitney Houston. I will always love you.
Oh, I love this, Gregory. Think I'll have a sing-song.
Cynthia, wait. I need to ask you something.
Oh, Gregory. Okay.
No, not now. Go and sing, Cynthia. Let's just enjoy the show.
Oh, okay.
And I'm being joined on stage by...
Cynthia Ken.
Okay, Cynthia. One for the ages.
Yeah.